Okay, kids, here we go again. So first off, this is kind of a weird one, in the sense that I had trouble figuring out a good way of doing it in our new situation. It's not that new anymore, but in this situation, in the remote learning deal, I didn't know a good way of fitting it into 40 minutes, and I also didn't know a particularly good way of doing it completely, on your own, in the online setting. So, with that being said, roll with the punches, as we always do. um, so, let's dive into it. Let's get started. Uh, the title is Nuclear Weapons in the Cold War. And there's probably nothing in that title that rings any bells, that clicks with you at all. That sounds familiar. That's what I'm looking for. That sounds familiar. With the exception of maybe nuclear weapons. And I'm going to show you where that where that does connect back to what you learned last week. And I'm using Colette's example. She did a really good job. So this is the timeline using Satori that she did last week. And as you can tell, it's 1945. We're coming to the end of the war. I also just want to point out she did a good job. I mean, the website's not that hard to use. She did a really good job finding images. She has excellent captions there. She cites them. She even included the video. This is an excellent video to include. And here we go, right there. August 6th, 1945. The use of atomic weapons. Atomic nuclear weapons are words that can be interchanged. So that's really where we transition from the Second World War to this assignment right here. The Second World War ends because of the invention of nuclear weapons, because the United States figured out how to make a weapon that would scare the living daylights out of any of its enemies, especially after it was used and people could see its devastating effects, which we did twice in Japan. Now, after that, um, after the end of the Second World War, we automatically transition into another war, the Cold War, which is basically this big staring contest. Look at this image here, this big staring contest between Russia, i.e., the Soviet Union, and the United States. You'll watch a video down there that'll explain more about it. But to keep us in an overview, the invention of nuclear weapons automatically after the Second World War puts us into this whole new situation. And so we have to understand nuclear weapons. We have to understand them as a technology and their impact before we can understand the political implications of it. And so that's what part one is all about. Why is everybody so afraid of nuclear weapons? It's trying to answer that question. Why are we so afraid of them? What is their impact? And so to do that, you're going to watch this video and you're going to list just 6 reactions. And those can be, like, holy shit, what was that? To, hey, there's these little weird rockets. What are those? It can be any detail that you notice, or any thought that comes to your head. And of course, 2 questions. And as always, those questions can be clarifying, like you don't understand something and you want to see how it works, or an I wonder question where you're trying to extend your knowledge. And so once you've watched that video, you're going to do a bit of your own research in these 2 sides right here. So I want you to find more videos, more images. I want you to find facts and statistics, as much as you can about nuclear weapons. And these keywords and these guiding questions will help you create Google searches, Google search phrases that'll help you get those facts and statistics, images, and videos. And then you'll answer these 2 processing questions down there. And then this right here is a whole lot more simple. Read, answer the questions, and it is about the political impacts. How does nuclear weapons, this technology, impact the way the world works? Okay. And then there's an extra credit opportunity down below. Hope you're doing good. Thanks for watching. Look for the other videos.